What's up guys, Maddie from DCLblogger.com. This is the second video of this series that I'm going to be making. Basically last week I created a similar video going through the marketplace, the buys and sells for that week, for that previous week. And I kind of went through my opinion on what were good deals, what were bad deals, the lands that are on the marketplace that are still good deals, and just the sales and just the general vibe of the marketplace for the week. So this time around, it's Monday here in Australia, and we're a bit ahead of America and a lot of the other countries. I think we're the second most ahead time zones. I think New Zealand's ahead of us, and then we're the next. But yeah, Monday, I thought, you know what, I'll make a video again on the same time the next week. So here we are. What I'm going to be doing is, first off, I'll go through the previous sales for this week and a few properties that I think that were really good deals for the buyer, and a couple of properties that I think were really good deals for the seller, right? Okay, just going through the vibe of the marketplace. It seems like, and I always kind of think about the health of the Decentraland marketplace by seeing where the bottom is. What's the cheapest plot going for? What is the price relative to mana that you can actually list a property and expect it to sell within the next 5 minutes? And that price is pretty much about 6,000. Anything under 6,000 gets eaten up pretty quick. 5,998. You can see on the marketplace itself, the cheapest property. I don't know if I've got it open, but the actual cheapest property listed on the marketplace is about 5,999. Okay, it seems that anything that gets listed under 6,000 gets sold pretty quickly, and that's a good sign because last week there was some properties that were listed for 5,250, and they took a while to sell. Some of them I think took about 4 to 5 hours, 6 hours to sell, and there was like 7 or 8 of those properties, right? And he had to list it from 5,750. He had to go down to 5,250. So the bottom was a little bit less. This time it's a bit higher. It gives you a good indication of that. The higher the bottom moves of Decentraland, I feel like the health of the market is a lot stronger. So generally, let's go through some of the good deals for this week. And I'm going to go through this one. This was sold, when was it sold? 3 days ago, 19,900, so under 20,000 mana. Now, what makes this a good deal? It's at the top west side of the marketplace, sorry, the map, and it's connected to a double road, which is connected to Decentraland University. Now, Decentraland University, I think, is going to be a really, really good district. They've got some funding, they've got some partnerships already, and I think if they can achieve the whole VR teaching and learning space, I think is VR learning and teaching is a good kind of like learning and teaching and education in general. I think is a really good piece, like a good place to start with VR. Like I think it's a very open, VR friendly idea. So I think like there's not many lands that are for sale connected to Decentraland universities. The ones that are usually are between 20 and 30,000. So for it to be picked up for under 20,000 mana, yes, it is pretty close to 20,000 mana, but I think it's a really good deal. Okay, so that was one good deal. Another one is this one. This was a good deal for the buyer, for the seller, because he purchased it for 7,500 mana. And I remember this being for sale, and I remember thinking, this is definitely going to sell for over 10,000 mana. But the market at that time was pretty down, and there weren't that many trades that were happening. I think mana was pretty high in terms of the token value, and because of that, the price relative to mana, a lot of people were dumping their lands a little bit. So this one sold for 7,500 mana 2 months ago, and 4 days ago pretty much doubled his money, 16,750 mana. So that's like 1,000 USD profit on that sale. So it's a good deal for the seller. Okay. We also have this one over here, which is really down far south. Down far south. I think it is the middle road. I don't know why it's showing there. Oh, no. So it's not the middle of the map. It's actually just under Dragon City. Dragon City, yep. Okay, so there's not that many double roads that are connected to the edge of the map. So the ones that are, you can notice, and this is a concept I'm going to go through later on, is the rarer that land, the more it's going to sell for. Even though it doesn't make sense for anyone to buy it there. For example, this one here in the far west south of the map, how much you reckon this sold for on auction? 10,000 mana, 20,000 mana. It sold for 177,000 mana. Now, I would never buy a property that far because I don't even know what I'd do with it. But the fact that it's a rare property, okay, there's only 4 corners in the whole Decentraland map. And to have one of those 4 lands in the whole of Decentraland, it's a bit of a prestigious thing. It's also a very rare land. And what you find is the rarer that specific type of property, the more it's going to sell for. For example, there's like the majority of the Decentraland map are made of lands that are connected to no single roads, no districts, nothing. Okay, so all these little single parcels in the middle of nowhere. That's why they sell for relatively cheap. In fact, the cheapest lands are those lands. Okay, but this one here in the far left corner is worth 177,000 because there's only 4 of them. Now, same deal applies with this. It is a double road, but there's not that many double roads connected to the edge. So you can see this one here. If that sold for say 15,000 mana, it'd be a good deal because although this one sold for 12,000, 17,000, and this one is further away to the edge, it's still it's rarer than this one. Okay, it's a rare land. There's only like 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know how many other double roads. Maybe here 5, 6. So there's only like 6 of those lands available. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is this, I think, was sold a little bit less than it should have. So 13,500 mana. He's relisted it for 17,000 mana. I reckon he should be able to get that in time because it's a rare, edge of the map is pretty rare and it sold initially for 2,400 mana. Another concept I'm going to go through later on is the concept of paying less than 10x the auction price. So this is well below 10x, so I think it's a good deal for both. What else do we have? Now this is an interesting space now. I am really interested in this section over here. This is the tech area, engineering park, tech sector, Hacker City, and below all of that we have Crypto Valley, which have big investors invested into that to attempt to make it into a VR Silicon Valley. So I'm really interested in this area over here. There was a couple of lands that sold in between these two spaces. So one connected directly to the battleground and only one space away to Engineering Park. And that was sold for 9,900 mana. I think that was a really good deal. That one, and I also think this one was sold. Yeah. This one, 12,999, nope. But one thing about this is the initial auction price of it was for 4,773 mana. Just to get a parcel that's only 2x its initial auction price is a really, really good deal, generally speaking. What else do we have? This one was connected to Engineering Park. There hasn't been many lands that was sold connected to Engineering Park. In fact, there's only one other one selling for 20,000 mana. This is the first time I saw one actually sold. I think I must have missed it, but the price that was paid for it, 11,500 mana, is a pretty decent price. And anyone that is in the engineering field or tech field is going to look for lands connected to Engineering Park. And there's only 2 available right now. One for 20,000, one for 19,750. So this guy must have relisted it to undercut whatever's available at the moment. I reckon it could be sold for 15,000 mana, 14,950. I would have listed it for to sell it pretty quickly. That's a few thousand mana flip in between. What else do we have? We went through that. And yeah, so those are 5 or 6 lands that I think that was sold in last week that were good deals. Apart from that, a lot of lands were sold under 6,000 mana, or 6 to 9,000 mana. The market didn't really pick up many big lands. There weren't many lands that were sold for over 20,000 mana, which kind of gives me the impression that a lot of these investors were new investors that were coming in and picking up like cheap parcels. And also for the last week or last couple of weeks, the mana token was relatively high. So you can see the fiat value of lands was generally high. You used to be able to pick up a cheap land for between $400 to $600. Now it's kind of 700 and above, like for most lands, unless you really, really dump it pretty cheap. So this one's 6,000 mana, $550. Now mana tokens come down a bit, so it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen this week onwards. In terms of the good deals available, to be honest, I don't think there are many good deals available. The deals that are really good are the ones that come up and are bought pretty quickly. So unless you're willing to find owners or contact details and communicate and bargain a price that's lower than market value or a good price for yourself when buying these lands, or you are able to pick up and buy your land as soon as you see it online, you're refreshing this every day, or you've got some kind of a tool set up to indicate to you that a land is available that is below market price, then it'll be very difficult for you to purchase these lands at a good price. What I used to do, and I still do it, is I try and find people that are selling bulk, and you know what, I'll give them a good deal and buy all of those lands off them. I'll take all that land off them and give them a good price they can walk away with, instead of them having to sell it individually, piece by piece. This is how I get my deals. Nothing on the first page, so what I'm going to do is go through the 5 pages. Nothing I can see on the first page that's worth it. This one's 20,000 mana, not too bad, connected to Dragon City. Yep, Dragon City. Anything under say 18 to 17,000 for a double road connected to Dragon City is a good deal. There's just there's so many like parcels you can buy connected to Dragon City that it's just, even if it's a double road, 20,000 isn't as cheap as I've seen it. Nothing on that road on the first page. What do we have on the second page? Nope. This one's a pretty interesting one to me. Again, there is not many parcels that have like 1, 2, 3 that are 3 side connected to roads. This one just so happens to be, this one here. Like, that's a very interesting spot connected. I wonder what the price of that is actually. Let's see the price of that. 3,500 mana. Okay, I think this one is a pretty interesting spot. If that touches 10,000 mana, I'm gonna buy it, because even though it's a land, it's a a road parcel just like every other road parcel. It's also connected it's got 3 sides connected to roads. All right, and I think that's a really unique proposition for that particular parcel. So anything under like 10,000 mana, I'm gonna pick it up straight away. What else do we have? So on the third page, nothing I can see that is that much of a good deal. I think that one, nope. Okay. Let's see what else we have. None of these. This one is connected to the edge of a T intersection, so you're gonna get that traffic, and the traffic walking down there, you're gonna be visible to that traffic. 14,700. Not that good of a deal. I would expect it to, I would pick it up for anything under 10,000, probably under 9,000. 59,000 for this one connected to Genesis Plaza. I know it's the second cheapest currently available connected to Genesis Plaza. It's not that bad of a deal. Nothing else I can find on the 4th page. On the 5th page, let's see what we got. 5th page, minus 43.24. So that would be in the top left quadrant of 50 spaces to the west, 50 spaces to the north. So that's pretty close to Center Genesis City. Let me just see if there's anything else here worth talking about. Nope. Alright, let's just go through this one. This one's not too bad actually. 17,500 mana. So you're connected to 2 single roads, and you are pretty close to Genesis City. Anything in this locality, like this quadrant here, is the most expensive quadrant closest to Genesis City. So you can see, if you're a new investor and you're not familiar with the map that much, then that's one quadrant here. You got 2 here, 3, 4, and this one has a lot of single roads connected to pretty much connecting everyone together. So anything in this quadrant is generally more expensive than any other quadrant. This one right here, connected to 2 single roads within 50 range, that's a pretty good buy. 17,500 mana. Anything like under 15,000, I like to get really, really good deals. I don't look for just good deals. I look for lands that I can buy for a price and literally just put it up 20 to 30% more and sell it pretty much in that same day. So if I can pick up this land for say 13,000 mana, and I'll list it again for 15,000 mana, then I know I can guarantee myself a profit if I can pick it up for 13,500 mana. So I would myself wait for this to go under 15,000 mana. But if you're a new investor and you want to buy a land and actually build on it, that's a pretty good deal. I am a flipper, so I look for things very, very cheap so I can make good money on my lands when I sell them again. But that one in particular is a really good land. Anything else we have to talk about? That's the 4th page again. All right, so that's it, guys. Not many on the marketplace that are good deals. I'm just gonna keep going through the last 5 pages. There's too much effort going through like all the lands available. But what else? What I'm gonna make some other videos in going through like assessing or analyzing, evaluating your land. If you're interested as someone that wants to buy and sell, or if you're interested in someone that wants to, if you're interested in a parcel as someone that wants to build. But there's just so much that you have to think about when actually buying your land. Anyway, that's it for this week. Again, if you like the video, let me know. I'm going to do another one next week. Hopefully there'll be a lot more land sales and there'll be a lot more exciting things to talk about.